You finally have everything lined up. The goal, the plan, the motivation, then somehow you find a way to blow it. Why do we sabotage the things we actually want?
Why do people get in their own way, even when they want to succeed?
Okay, so here's the thing, and I know this sounds weird, but success is actually kind of terrifying. Like, the moment you start doing well, suddenly there is so much more to lose. More people are watching, more people have opinions. And then, I don't know, what if you get up there and you fall? Like, publicly? That is so much worse than never trying. So the brain just, it finds a way out. It procrastinates, or it picks a fight, or it nitpicks everything until nothing feels ready. And it is not even conscious. That is the scary part. It just quietly creates these little escape hatches so you never actually have to reach the moment where someone looks at you and decides you are not good enough. It feels like caution. It feels responsible even. But it is really just avoidance with a very convincing disguise. Yeah, that is kind of what I think is happening.
Why do people get in their own way, even when they want to succeed?
Okay, bro, honestly, the problem is that doing hard things feels bad and doing fun things feels amazing. Like, that is literally it. Your brain is not broken, it just really, really loves feeling good right now. So when you are supposed to be working towards some goal that pays off like 6 months from now, your brain is just sitting there going, yeah, but what if we watched one more episode though? Or like scrolled for a bit, or had a snack? And honestly, it is not even laziness. It is more like WH. Your brain is bargaining. It is stressed or bored or whatever, and it is just hunting for the quickest hit of something good. And scrolling totally delivers that. Snacks deliver that. Bro, a good snack is an immediate win. The goal, though? That is a maybe. That is effort. That is future use problem, and present you as like, nah, I am good. Pass the chips.
Why do people get in their own way, even when they want to succeed?
Here is what nobody wants to admit. Failing after trying your hardest? That is brutal, because then you cannot blame anything. It is just you. So people protect themselves. They do not fully commit. They change the plan. They overthink every detail. They stay in preparation mode forever. Why? Because then they always have an excuse in their back pocket. I did not really try. I was too busy. I could have done better if conditions were different. Smart. Unconsciously smart, because if you never truly put yourself on the line, you never get a clear verdict. You can always tell yourself the potential is still there. Untested. Safe. The image stays intact. Champ, perfectionism is not about standards. It is about staying protected, staying in the game without ever actually playing. People will do almost anything to avoid being measured. And found lacking.
Why do people get in their own way, even when they want to succeed?
The issue, as I see it, is that success introduces variables that cannot be predicted. Even when an outcome is positive, it disrupts what is already established. Routines change, relationships shift. Your identity may no longer match what you thought it was. That is significant disruption. Self-sabotage, in this context, is not irrational. It is a preference for the known over the unknown. Not sending the email keeps things as they are. Not defining the relationship preserves the current arrangement. Staying in planning mode means the plan cannot fail yet. It functions as a stability mechanism. The difficulty is that it does not simply pause progress. It actively locks you into an earlier version of your life. The routines are preserved, the identity is preserved, but the trajectory does not move. And over time, the gap between where you are and where you intended to be becomes increasingly difficult to reconcile.
How can you stop self-sabotaging your goals and relationships?
Yes. Well, the first thing to do, honestly, is to stop treating self-sabotage as a character defect, because it is not. It is a pattern, and patterns can be examined. So, look at when it happens. What triggers it? Who is present? And then, rather than relying on willpower, which is notoriously unreliable, redesign the situation. Shrink the task down. Set one clear next step. Reduce the number of choices available to you. And then pre-commit using what you might call if-then plans. If I feel the urge to avoid this, then I do 10 minutes only. That is it. That is the agreement you make in advance. In relationships, the equivalent strategy is to stop mind reading and start making direct agreements. What do you need? What will you do? What will you stop doing? Stated clearly, honestly, out loud. Put simply, make it structural rather than motivational.
How can you stop self-sabotaging your goals and relationships?
Mate, Before you go fixing anything in your head, sort out what is happening in your body first, because self-sabotage spikes when your system is already under pressure. You are not sleeping, you are skipping meals. You are overstimulated and chronically stressed, and your body is just running on fumes. So start there, little buddy. Sleep. Actual sleep. Protein, sunlight, move around a bit, drink some water for goodness sake. These are not complicated things, but they lower the reactivity. They make it easier to sit with discomfort instead of bolting from it. And in your relationships, mate, learn your stress tells. You know the signs. The jaw tightens, the voice goes flat, whatever it is for you. Build yourself a pause before things escalate. Leave the room, take a breath, cool the system down before you say something you cannot take back. The body is running the show more than people want to admit.
How can you stop self-sabotaging your goals and relationships?
Oh, sweetheart, I really think the most important thing is that you stop trying to do all of this on your own. Because change is so much harder in isolation. What we need is accountability that actually feels kind, not shaming. A friend who checks in on you. A group of people who are working toward the same things. A therapist or a coach, maybe. Spaces where growth is just normal and expected and celebrated. And in our relationships, dear, we have to stop testing the people we love. All that pulling away, the picking fights, the going quiet when something is wrong. What we are really doing is asking, are you going to leave? But we are not saying it out loud. So instead, try asking directly for what you need. Repair things quickly when something goes wrong. And surround yourself with people who can genuinely handle your honesty. We really do grow so much better together than we ever do alone.
How can you stop self-sabotaging your goals and relationships?
Friend, I think at the heart of it, self-sabotage starts to loosen its grip when you genuinely believe that changing will not cost you your sense of worth. And that belief does not come from a sudden revelation. It builds slowly, through tiny wins, through noticing that you took one small step and nothing fell apart, through being a little kinder in the story you tell yourself about who you are. Because if you are waiting until you can do it perfectly before you begin, that day is never coming. But if you shift to thinking, I am building proof, even messy proof counts, something opens up. And in our relationships, friend, we can learn. We can learn better conflict, better boundaries, better ways of choosing who we let close. You do not need a perfect past to build something beautiful going forward. The universe does not ask for that. It just asks you to keep going.
My child, the part of you that gets in your own way is not your enemy. It is an old guardian, one that learned long ago that staying still was safer than moving forward, that a comfortable excuse was kinder than an honest failure. And for a time, perhaps, that was true. But old strategies do not always know when they are no longer needed. Self-sabotage is not stupidity. It is protection wearing the wrong clothes. The mind reaches for short-term relief when progress feels like danger. It retreats into familiar routines when change threatens the shape of a life it has grown used to. The way through is not to punish yourself for this. It is to understand what your sabotage is trying to prevent. Then make the path forward feel a little less like a cliff edge. Settle the body. Simplify the next step. Let small wins speak louder than old doubts. In your relationships, stop testing people with your distance and start reaching for them with your words. Repair quickly. Ask honestly. Choose people who can hold your truth without flinching. A tree does not force its roots into hard ground. It finds the soft soil, grows slowly, and eventually the roots go very deep. Over time, my child, the part of you that once pulled the brakes learns it does not have to.
If you made it this far, you're gonna want to see what comes next. Hit subscribe so you don't miss our next video, and click the video on screen now to keep learning more. See you in the next video.